Hey guys, thanks for joining us for this 88th episode in Season 2 of Good Questions with Cameron Dole. Special guests on this episode include the newly crowned champion of Season 20 on The Voice, Cam Anthony. We'll also visit with our good friend Emme Lentino. We'll talk about her new single Peter Pan, plus her recent music, videos, and songwriting inspirations. For more information, visit her website at emmelentino.com. Of course, if you would, please take the time to subscribe, comment, leave some feedback, check out the shop, and share with your friends. Now, in the U.S.'s history, 46 million veterans have served during wartime, and about a third of those heroes are still with us. Here are a few more stats and facts for Memorial Day weekend. Number 1, 95% of businesses will be closed on Memorial Day this year. Number 2, more than 37 million people are traveling. That's up 60% from last year. Most folks are going to be driving. Around 2.5 million of us are flying. That's about 6 times more than last year. Number 3, if you are going somewhere, check your pockets, because we'll lose an estimated $139 million worth of stuff while we're on the road. Number 4, over half of us will barbecue or go to a cookout this weekend. Number 6, between now and Labor Day, Americans will consume an average of 818 hot dogs every second. Number 6, Memorial Day is the second biggest time of the year for beer sales. The only time we buy more beer is around the 4th of July. Labor Day is third. And number 7, just under 46% of shoppers say they'll probably take advantage of at least one Memorial Day deal. Keeping the tradition alive, we've got the winner of the current season of The Voice, Cam Anthony from Team Blake, on with us. And first off, Cam, I appreciate you cutting some time out of your schedule to be on.
No, thank you so much for having me and just allowing me to bring forth this message. So I'm excited to be here.
Now, Cam, how much of a whirlwind has your week been since being crowned champ? And man alive, is this a week you'll probably never forget, right, brother?
Oh, yeah, this is definitely a week I'll never forget. And quite honestly, to even think about the fact that today is Friday, is just blowing my mind, because my life changed completely. So I'm definitely taking time to let it all sink in, because I didn't have those opportunities when I was younger. And I think it's good to, remember moments like this. So I definitely want to let it sink in for a little bit.
Cam, how much has your view of music, of the business, the industry, how much has that changed since stepping on the stage at the blind audition?
Honestly, I think this show, gave me this new understanding and new, love and lust for life that I can't even imagine it being possible without it. We spent so much time in the quarantine, and honestly, I was becoming discouraged, because I had been in the industry for about more than half my life. It's like 9 years, 9+ years. And so it's been a long time working in music. And, you can lose faith and hope in the idea that you'll be able to make something out of it, especially as an up-and-coming artist. But I knew I had to make a difference and make a change in my career. So this was the best place for me to do so. And I'm so grateful for this experience.
You talk about making a change and being a part of Team Blake. I mean, was it more of a challenge for Blake, or for you to conform to the other a little bit, if you will?
The beauty of it was there was no conforming. I think that, again, one of the beautiful things that we all as contestants understood as well is that there's something uniquely special about all of us, and about, how the idea that literally everything that we did in our lives independently, living so many different lives, many different ages, it led us to this one space in California together. And so it was all divine, and working with Blake was just phenomenal. He allowed me to do my own thing and explore my own. And I appreciate that. I really do. It helped me grow a lot.
Now, what, Cam, would you say is the biggest thing that you learned about yourself in this whole process? Is it the knowing that you've got the abilities? What did you learn most in this experience, if you will?
I say that it's taught me to have so much more faith in my abilities, because I know coming into this, if you've seen my Feeling Good performance, there were things in there that I had no idea I could do. And just being pushed and challenged by so many other the amazing talents that I mentioned. We all just came together just to make sure that we put on the best performance that we could. And we were helping each other with each other's songs and everything, just trying to be there for each other. And so it was just such a life-changing experience all around. And I could go on and go on about how many lessons I've learned, honestly.
Now, for you, Cam, how has the music changed? Maybe the process, the inspiration over the last year? You've been doing it for, like I said, about half of your life. How has this last year impacted you songwriting-wise?
Well, this definitely gave me so many more stories to tell. And I think it also just created the grounds for me to make more stories that I can tell. Because, just from the friendships that I've gained, we'll be doing so many things together, and you will definitely see me with pretty much all of the other castmates because we've literally created such a great bond. And, hey, you might see us together in the coming months, So I appreciate just everything that they've done for me, and I'm excited for the storytelling that we'll be able to do.
Now, Cam, what was the biggest surprise? Maybe something you had a preconceived notion as you came in that turned out to not be quite the same as you imagined it. What were maybe the big surprises for you this year?
I guess I could say that I wasn't expecting to walk away with such a big family. Going into these experiences, especially like working on shows like this before, you can run into some people that aren't too, kind and aren't too excited about forming a relationship. And it's more about just getting the work done. But this specific group of people, everyone was just really, really focused on, number one, touching and reaching, as many people as possible, but also growing and getting to know each other and on a deeper level than just surface. So I appreciate that from them. Like, that was just amazing.
And now that you've got almost a week under your belt, how has the goal setting changed for you, or have you even had the opportunity to sit down and really delve into that, if you would?
I definitely haven't had the opportunity to actually sit down and do that, but I definitely have been able to create some new goals. One thing that I've been mentioning a lot actually is the fact that I want to do a live action version of The Wiz. I really, really, really love that movie. It's been one of my favorites since childhood. And I would love to be the Scarecrow in The Wiz and maybe have Missy Elliott as, the Good Witch, maybe Monique. And I don't know if you know who Jana Brown is, but she was on America's Got Talent not too long ago. And she is a phenomenal, phenomenal singer. So, hey, maybe she could be Dorothy, and I would definitely be able to accompany her down the yellow.
That's good stuff. Now, Cam, if folks want to keep up with the new music, the touring opportunities as those become available, and of course all the socials, where's the best place for folks to keep up with all that, brother?
Well, to make it easy for y'all, you can go to therealcamanthony.com, and you'll find everything you need. And also, Cam Anthony on pretty much all my socials, you'll be able to find me. So just hit me up, shoot me a DM. We can talk for a little bit.
There you go. Well, Cam, I appreciate you taking some time out of your crazy week schedule. Appreciate the time. Hopefully we can catch up again real soon and have a great Memorial Day weekend, brother.
For sure. I appreciate you. You have a great day as well.
Now, this weekend is the unofficial start to summer, which means it's officially hot dog season again. A new survey by the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council, the NHDSC if you're hip, asked people how to make the best hot dog. Not surprisingly, the vast majority of people prefer their hot dogs grilled. 75% said they like them grilled, compared to 9% who like them best over a campfire, 6% prefer them boiled, 3% like them to be steamed, and 2% are cool with the microwave. Now, the number one topping was mustard. Now that's interesting because people were not as excited about having mustard on their burgers in another recent poll we shared. Now, ketchup was the second most essential topping, followed by onions, relish, chili, cheese, sauerkraut, mayo, bacon, jalapenos, and coleslaw. Want to say thanks to today's sponsor of the podcast, Smiley's Breezy Vapes at 313 Falcon Road in Altus, where they've got red basket specials going on always. Plus, if you need new hardware, any of the questions you might have, plus the largest selection of disposable flavors in Southwest Oklahoma. That's Smiley's Breezy Vapes. Give them a call or send a text at 580-471-VAPE. Googling your own name isn't a bad idea. You should know what other people can find out about you, especially if you're looking for a job. But some of us are way too into ourselves. A new survey found 1 in 11 Americans Google themselves every day, and another 5% said about once a week. Almost 25% of people do it at least once a month, and another 20% said at least once a year. Now, just over half of us do it less often than that, or have even never Googled themselves. Our final guest on the episode today, our friend from a little ways across the pond. She got up extra early for us today, and Emme Lentino. And Emme, always great to visit with you. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Cam. It's lovely to see you, and hello to all your listeners.
Now, tell us a little bit about what's been going on as you've started the 2021, and how hard to believe is it that we're 6 months in already?
Yes, it is quite hard to believe. It feels like 2020 was just like, whoa, God. Yeah, it's been an amazing start to 2021. I've had some new releases, which I'm excited about, and I've been working really hard. I've also been out singing live again, which has been awesome. And yeah, brand new music video for Oceanside, which is a combination of home videos and some other shots that was put together by a very close friend of mine, Prashant Shah, over in America, who's an amazing filmmaker. And and of course, Peter Pan. I don't know if you've had a chance to listen to Peter Pan yet. Yeah, Peter Pan was a song that I did back in New York City. I wrote it in 2007 and recorded it when I moved here to New Zealand, and released it in 2016, but only on a CD that I gave away to kids on a school tour that I was doing to promote kindness and love and anti-bullying. And nobody ever really got the CD. It was never available really for purchase or anything. So one of the songs on there was Peter Pan. And so it's really exciting to have released it into a place where people can access it from all over the globe. And, Peter Pan is a very cheeky character, as I'm sure we can all relate. And I love that kind of mystical angle of talking about, a man who needs to grow up. He's a bit cheeky. So it was, it's been a lot of fun. Hard too.
Yes.
Brought up some stuff.
Now, you talked about being busy, and how hard has it been to stay busy in the midst of all of having to be to yourself so much this last year? Yeah,
I think it's great to obviously to be able to virtually connect with people, but now it's nice to actually see people versus, as I'm sure everyone can relate. But I've stayed consistently busy just with lots of different projects. I do a lot of charity work, and so I never really had any downtime. I never really had any time where I was like twiddling my thumbs. It's been go pretty much from the beginning of the morning at 4 a.m. all the way until evening. And I'm so thankful to be that people want to chat, and like yourself. And it's always really a blessing. So yes, there's no twiddling my thumbs time.
And one of the things I like to ask people, I mean, we probably talked about this last time we visited, but has your writing style changed as you've been more to yourself these last few months?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it certainly has given me a lot more time to really kind of explore some different writing styles and some different things that I wanted to say. So I think probably creatively speaking, anyone that's gone through this pandemic, which all of us have, I think have been forever changed with what's gone on. So I certainly have found that what I want to write about, I kind of want to get to the point now where I realize that even more so that life is so short. So whatever I put out, I really, I want it to be a good message.
Now, how long has it been that you've been able to get out and actually play? I don't think we mentioned New Zealand is where you're at, and tell us what the music scene is like now that things are opened up again.
Yeah, so there's definitely music events. There was a massive concert, 50,000 people, not mine, but a really popular band here in New Zealand, 660, and they had 50,000, very, very excited fans. And that was pretty remarkable, living in a country where, you know, we are able to do that. We are able to come together. So, I mean, to answer your question, I think everyone is just sort of in this place of being thankful and excited to be going out and listening to music. Theaters are you know, open, and you can watch amazing stage shows and musicals. So I think there's lots of activities, and lots of people are, you know, tickets are selling to all of these things because everyone is so happy to be out and about. So it's been really cool, I think, for the creative industry here in New Zealand. A lot of films are being shot here as well, and TV shows actually from overseas, because we have a hold on COVID at the moment. So let's hope that it stays like that. Knock on wood.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. I'm glad I'm surrounded by wood. I'm going to be
Lots of knocking.
Yeah, lots of knocking.
Now, for you, whenever you first went back out on stage, was it maybe a little difficult because of all of the COVID that we've had to deal with? Was it maybe a little extra scary first time back? I think
it was not, maybe, I don't know if the word was scary, but a little bit, yeah, kind of like, ooh, what to expect, and what's the protocol here, you know, especially since a lot of people, you know, initially were not really even going out. So my first gig was actually in a small venue, and which was great. It was good to, you know, have a few people there, but I think it was the spacing was small. So I remember thinking, you know, because I've always been someone that loves to hug and everything, and then I was like, well, can't really do that now, so I'm just going to wave. I remember actually keeping my hands on my waist at one point to keep myself from going in for hugs. So that was strange, because I'm such a friendly person. So that was like, I think probably the weirdest part was just having to refrain. But after that, it was, you know, I don't know, it was just cool to be able to do it again. And I think it was like, oh, I never want to stop this again. I want to keep going.
Now, how much different is the creative process working on the video projects this last year and having to do that remotely and giving feedback remotely? Are you nicer on a remote call than you are if you're face to face with a producer?
I think I'm the same. And I think it's interesting. As Oceanside, I wrote that with Greg Cortez, an amazing soul over in LA. And it was interesting writing over Zoom. So I guess that was probably the most interesting project in the last few months, where I didn't have the luxury of being able to hang out with him in the studio and get a vibe and then write. It was sort of like, okay, we have got a writing session, let's do this. And I think it really taught me that, you know, how disciplined you have to be with songwriting when you're under those kind of circumstances. And I think that for me, it was really, really good. And I really liked it. And I think it was a challenge to not work with someone in the studio. But now it's like second nature, right? Everybody's doing it. Everybody's writing on Zoom or producing on Zoom or other, you know, different outlets. So I think I'm thankful that I had the opportunity. And to answer your question, I think it's given me an opportunity to diversify my skills, and I'm pretty happy about that. So it was cool. And then Greg and I collaborated with Dan Antonovich, who has done a lot of my records over in America, who used to live in LA. Now he's back in New Zealand. And they co-produced the track. So it was interesting, the three of us virtually working together. There's like some funny photos of Dan and I met up, and we met up in the studio one day, and we held up a laptop, right? And Greg's like waving. We took a photo of like, this is so funny. So that was really cool. And the music video was super fun to do for this. I just didn't have the budget to do a big a video. And I think it was probably the most real and raw version of who I really am, because there was no bells and whistles. It was me. I had my kids in it. They are also in the song, their little voices are running on the beach. And it was really neat to be able to work with them even on it, like talk about ideas. And Isabella, my older girl, loves film. And so she was like, she took my camera, my iPhone, and she, zoomed in, and then she zoomed in on my face. So she's like, steady. And I thought it's really cool to be able to share something that was so heartfelt, but also came from a place where, I was just myself. And, there was no, I thought to myself, well, if everyone still likes me after this, then that's a bluff. There's no grandiose hair and makeup person or an outfit that's nice or anything like that. So it was cool. I really enjoyed it, and like I said, it has my girls in it, and there's some of their little friends as well, who have been Emmy fans. So that was really neat. To be able to incorporate them and have them sing along.
Now, you know how much music means to you, and this last year, having more time to just sit, and has there been any maybe surprises, musical inspiring wise? I mean, maybe an artist that you wouldn't have given time before, but hey, you had so much time that you've maybe delved in and picked some new artists.
Yeah, that's a great question. Oh my goodness. I think I ended up listening to a lot of, it was a band that I already have loved for a long time, but two different bands, and everyone knows who these people are. They're not recent, but it's funny how COVID made me go back to the music of my teens. So I listened over and over and over again to the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club. So listened to that over and over again and sang along to it, and also Radiohead. So those were two albums that when I was in high school, I listened to Radiohead a lot, and I listened to the Beatles. And so I think for me, it's been about nostalgia. And I don't know if this is anyone else can relate, but I also, of course, have listened to the brand new music, and I love it, especially indie artists. I love supporting indie artists, and so if you're an indie artist out there, I'm cheering you on. But these two bands were, for whatever reason, when I listened to them, I felt a lot of comfort, and I felt like I went back in time to a time where things weren't complicated, and I think, probably like a lot of people, you kind of hold on to that when things are difficult. So those were definitely the two bands that I listened to during COVID. And yeah.
Now tell our listeners, we kind of touched on it about the single Peter Pan. Tell our listeners a little in depth about the specialness of Peter Pan and the ability for, like you said, more folks everywhere to be able to actually come up with this one.
Yeah, thank you, Kim. So Peter Pan is really special because it is my late husband's favorite song that I wrote. And I wrote it when I was just friends with him, but the cheekiness of Peter Pan was sort of what sparked, the curiosity about sort of how I could write something that had a little bit of some stuff from him. So I think the song is special, but it's also, it's like a time capsule for me, because it really captured where I was when I was living in New York, and as a struggling artist, schlepping a guitar and a massively oversized keyboard case, and going to gigs and stuff, and I and I think that it really was special to be able to record it once I got to New Zealand, and then put it out with basically some other songs that I hope really encouraged people. And I think it's because it's been 5 years since Tony's passing. I think being able to release the song now really needed to happen for my own healing process, that everything kind of has come full circle. And, sometimes we make decisions and we don't necessarily know why we do, but I had this impulse. It was a very impulsive decision. I didn't talk to anybody about it. I just uploaded it to the distribution, and I put it out there on social media that it was coming, and didn't even tell my producer friend who worked on it with me that releasing it. I just did it. And I got some messages like, "Oh, wow, this is." I was like, "Why not?" So I think Peter Pan really is special to me because it is a chapter of my life that I'm proud of, but that I really am ready to share now. And in keeping with all of the things that are important to me, with charity work, and also promoting kindness and suicide prevention, which is something that's very important to me. I live in a country where, unfortunately, we have the highest suicide rate out of all other countries for teens. And so I wanted to do something that wasn't just a release for a release sake. I wanted to tie it into something that I could stand by and go, well, I'm able to help someone else. So what I've done is on my website, and you can go there, folks, if you feel like it, emmelentino.com, there is light in the dark t-shirts that are actually glow in the dark, but it's light in the darkness, that it says on there, and shine. And then I've got CDs that have Peter Pan on it, and also a few other songs that are all uplifting, and all the proceeds go to Hands of Grace, Ray of Light's suicide prevention program over in America. And I've had a few people, kind of ask the question, like, why the release now, and why the CDs for that cause? And I think for me, it's about giving back, and it makes sense to do something that helps other people. And I think, even though Tony passed from cancer, and obviously not from suicide, I just want to clarify that. It was something that he knew I was really passionate about helping people. And so it makes sense to kind of, I don't know, it's just like, again, coming full circle. So a very long-winded answer. I hope everyone brought your pillows. Gosh, chatty Kathy. But I think it's really, really special to me to be able to have this out there. And like I said, it was his favorite song. And when I listen to it now, I'm transported back in time. And I think that that's something that is really special, that music allows us to, it's like a time machine. And I love that about music. I just love that. So really thankful to everybody who's played the song and listened to the song, and have, written to me and said, look, the song reminds me of, and then they give me an example. It's just, it tickles me. So thank you.
That's awesome.
So much.
That's awesome. Well, again, Emme, I want to make sure, let folks know where they can find the music, the website, social media, all that as well.
Okay, great. Thank you. So you can find me at emmylentino.com. That's EMMELENTINO.com. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all at Emme Lentino. And I've kept it as easy as possible. And I've got, in terms of releases, Peter Pan and Oceanside are out now on all major platforms. Music video for Oceanside is up on my YouTube channel, which is just, again, my name, Emme Lentino. Would love for folks to go over and give it a like and a share and a comment. And then I've got a remix of Oceanside coming out as well in June, which I'm really excited about. So get on your dancing shoes, folks. It's really and of course, Peter Pan is out now, and it's a song that, as we've been talking, is really special to my heart. So, yeah, definitely stay in touch with me, folks, and it means a lot. Thank you, Cam, so much for taking time to chat with me. I love your show. I love your positivity and your energy. It's just fantastic. So I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Emme. And we've been following each other back. I think it's Instagram is where I keep up with most of your stuff. And you're positive and uplifting as well. So I saw the single release coming up. I said, we got to have you back on, and appreciate you taking the time. And we will make it happen again sooner than later.
Thank you so much. Have a beautiful evening.
Want to say thanks to today's sponsor of the podcast, Smiley's Breezy Vapes at 313 Falcon Road in Altus, where they've got red basket specials going on always. Plus, if you need new hardware, any of the questions you might have, plus the largest selection of disposable flavors in Southwest Oklahoma. That's Smiley's Breezy Vapes. Give them a call or send a text at 580-471-VAPE. Now, something tells me this guy's time in jail will be a little less luxurious than his past few days have been. For 5 weeks, cops in New Zealand had been searching for a 32-year-old guy named James Bryant who's connected to an assault. Now, it turned out he was hiding out in the wilderness, and he just turned himself in after hiring a helicopter to come pick him up and fly him home. Now, before he went to the police station, he took a friend along for a champagne and oysters lunch. And outside the police station, he said that his 5 weeks in the woods were pretty great because he got to do a lot of yoga. Now, he's facing several charges, including assault with a weapon, wounding with intent to injure, and failing to appear in court. Well, thanks again for joining us for this 88th episode in Season 2 of Good Questions with Cameron Dole. If you ever have a comment, question, anything else you'd like to know, you can hit me up on the contact page at gqwithcam.com. You can also find me on the socials, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook, all at GQWithCam. If you'd like to help out in the funding for this podcast, visit our merch store. We've got some hoodies, mugs, tumblers, shirts, stickers, even more, gqwithcam.com/shop. If you have a special guest idea, email me, gqwithcam@gmail.com. Well, thanks again to our good friend Brandon Allen for taking the time to come up with our theme music. We're going to let him play us out and hope you guys have a great Memorial Day weekend.